Everybody, we got head coach Ed Boyle. Coach, please start with an opening statement. We'll open up for questions.
Yeah, you know, it's losing's losing, and you know the feeling is the same in your stomach, and just your disgust and frustration and anger, whatever you want to call it. You know, the litany of emotions. But you know, there's a different feeling today after the loss than after Thursday night's loss. And you know, something I talked to the players about in the locker room is that the reason that they're, I think, down and disappointed tonight is because they fought their tails off and they competed their tails off and they came up short. And that's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to have that pit in your stomach. You know, it's supposed to feel empty. If it doesn't, there's something wrong with you, you know, as a player or as a coach, quite frankly. But our guys fought tonight, and the feeling in that locker room on Thursday night was one more of disgust, disappointment, regret, and like, what the hell are you going to do if you don't compete? And we competed tonight. We competed tonight and competed against a really good team and made plays down the stretch. Tiger Campbell, Jaime Jaquez are all conference players in this league. They've shown it year after year, game after game, and they made every play down the stretch that UCLA needed to be made, and they made a few more than we did. And that was the difference in the game. Our guys fought and battled, especially when Tristan went out. You know, with 5 minutes to go, we could have folded our tents and felt sorry for ourselves, and we didn't do that. Guys kept fighting and just didn't make enough plays down the stretch.
How proud of you? How proud are you of the fact that in the two matchups, Simpson, Campbell, and even Tristan missing the last 5 minutes against Jaquez, you were only 4 points down, and you lost by 4, but you basically neutralized their two best players this time.
Yeah, you know, there's two ways you can look at our team this year. You know, like let's go to Thursday night as an example. You can say, well, their two best players, Boogie Ellis and Drew Peterson, were better than our two best players, KJ Simpson and Tristan Da Silva. Or you can say, you know, the USC supporting cast to their two guys was better than ours was. So there's two ways you can look. The bottom line is we're a team. You win together, you lose together. And we need our supporting cast. And USC's supporting cast outside of Peterson and Boogie Ellis on Thursday night shot 70% from the field. That's pretty damn good from a supporting cast. Ours shot 36%. That's not real good. So that supporting cast is critical. The two guys that you're kind of going to down the stretch, they're critical. It goes hand in hand. And sometimes the supporting cast can, you know, make up for the one or two guys that might not be having a great game. And that's happened on occasion for us, not very often. Today, I thought our supporting cast battled and fought. I don't know the numbers, but you know, I can live with it. Yeah. And you can live, you know, you can live with guys that compete and give you everything they've got and do everything that you're trying to get done. And you know, at the end of the day, players make plays down the stretch. And Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez made the plays. And that's why they're both seniors. And I told them both in the handshake line, I can't wait till they graduate. I have no idea. This COVID year stuff, I don't know who's got years left and who's not, who's coming back and who's not. But tell you what, I'm going to have a drink when I find out both those guys are gone from UCLA, because I've got unbelievable respect for both of them. I really do. And I got great respect for Coach Cronin and just the toughness that those guys play with each and every game. And they played with it tonight in a tough environment. Our crowd was, I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that. But, you know, I felt like apologizing to our crowd on Thursday. I'm not apologizing for anything other than the fact that I got to try to get our guys over the hump and coach a little bit better, and we got to make a few more plays down the stretch.
You mentioned your supporting cast, Luke O'Brien, his first career double-double. How did he step up to the plate this afternoon? Yeah,
I mean, Luke, he battles, and he gives you everything he's got. And he plays with great energy and great emotion. And I think for Luke to take the next step as a player, it's between the years. It's not his physicality, because he's shown that he can rebound the ball. He can defend when he wants to defend. I think it's playing really, really smart basketball. And in terms of staying out of foul trouble or, not making defensive miscues, whatever the case may be, offensively making the right plays. But Luke's getting better and better and better. There's no doubt about it. Since he's moved in the starting lineup, our record hadn't gotten any better, but Luke's gotten better. And I guess that's a positive.
What makes him such a good rebounder?
Goes after it. Yeah, he's active. You have to go search the ball out. The ball's not going to come to you in basketball. You have to go search. You have to go find it. And I've coached for a long time now. And, you look at the great rebounders in the game, the great rebounders we've had here, Andre Roberson, Jabari Walker, they go find the ball. They go find it. They don't wait for the ball to come find them. And Luke's doing that. The biggest thing I'm trying to get Luke to do is go after it with two hands. I mean, as big a hands as Dr. J had back in the day, he never got one-handed rebounds out of the air. You have to go get that thing with two. You don't have Velcro on your hands. You have to get it with two. Luke has been in a position to get probably, I would say, 30 to 40 more rebounds this season alone, just with two hands versus one. And so if he can make that jump, he could be one of the top rebounders in this league. There's no doubt, because he does go after it.
Coach, when Lawson picked up that second foul in the first half,
Yeah.
everything got a lot easier for them offensively.
Yeah.
They kind of closed the gap on you guys that last 8.5 minutes. What
They-
did you do for your defense and
Yeah.
changes in this matchup?
I've talked about Lawson defensively all year long, and what you saw tonight is what happens when he's not in the game. Now, what actually helped us a little bit during that stretch, not enough, is they went small when we went small. So they took I looked out there. They had Jaquez at the 5. We had Tristan at the 5, and Luke in there. So they kind of matched our small lineup with their small lineup, which I thought was advantage Colorado if we can keep guarding them. But again, UCLA is a good team. I mean, you might hold them for stretches, but they're eventually going to make baskets. They're eventually going to make shots because they've got good players and they run good stuff. But losing Lawson to the second foul was painful. And again, you put him in, he gets his third. Now he's playing. It just was too physical of a game, I thought, to risk it. I kicked myself maybe the other night for not playing Tristan against USC in the first half with 2, but I don't question the decision I made with Lawson tonight.
You talked about the defensive toughness that UCLA brings, but you guys were holding in with them all 40 minutes of the game tonight.
Yep.
You held them to 1 of 14 from 3. What do you think was working for your guys on defense to hold the number 4 team in the country to a pretty bad night shooting?
We played with toughness, and we, for the most part, followed the game plan. I thought we fouled them a little bit too much in the second half, kind of bailing them out, but yeah, I thought our guys played with great toughness on defense, and again, I always look at the rebounding column, and when you out-rebound UCLA by 5, you've done something. We always say we want to do it by 8, but I'll take +5 on UCLA any day because they are tough on the boards. I mean, you saw that last rebound that Bona got. We played great defense. We forced a miss, and he just went. He went up and got. That was as impressive as a rebound as I've seen in this league in a long time. He just went up and got it above the rim and came down with it. We fouled him, and he made both foul shots.
You probably don't know about Tristan yet, but
Yeah.
you guys are a little bit beat up. Is it
We are.
good time to have maybe
Yeah.
a slower week before?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if we were playing on, I don't have a feel for how severe it is. It is his ankle. It's not his foot, which I'm really thankful for because the way he's holding his foot, I was afraid it was that 5th metatarsal thing, which I've had a lot of players have, which means surgery and a pin usually. So, but it was his ankle, and again, sometimes ankles you're out for 2 minutes, sometimes 2 hours, sometimes 2 days, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 2 months. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get a feel for that as we get through the week. But I'm hopeful. I know if Tristan can play, he will play, and we'll get a feel for that as the week transpires.
Do you feel if you get that kind of defensive effort, particularly in the conference tournament, that you can
Absolutely.
compete and
We,
even beat it?
Sandy, we can beat. Absolutely, we can beat it, and we've proven that, against the best team in the conference, by far, UCLA. We've proven we can go toe-to-toe. Now, we've come up short both times. LA, it was a 17-0 run and 25 turnovers. Okay, if we turn the ball over 12 times in LA, like we turned it over 12 times tonight, we might win that game. I don't know if we will or we won't, but 17-0 run, you look at the final score, but we were right there. We were right there tonight. So if you can do that against UCLA, it means you can beat anybody. Now, we eventually have to start making some shots. We have to start making free throws. In close games, one-possession games, two-possession games, free throws are critical. So those are things that we have to do offensively, because your defense and your rebounding can take you so far. It can keep you in games. It can keep you right there. But eventually you got to start making some shots or getting in the line and making free throws. And we didn't do either one of those good enough tonight to win, and UCLA did.
You mentioned just kind of hope or being thankful whenever Tiger Campbell and Jaime Jaquez are no longer in this conference. Do you hope that maybe in a year or so, Mick and other coaches in the Pac-12 are saying that same thing about KJ and Tristan, just based off the trajectory?
You hope so, because that's the ultimate compliment, is when an opposing coach says, I don't like coaching against you. And it's not, I don't like coaching against them because they're bad kids. They're really good players that create problems for you, and they compete. And it's funny when you watch, when you're coaching in the game. I'm not worried about Jaime Jaquez or Tiger Campbell, but when you're watching film of UCLA play Utah or Arizona State or Arizona, and you see what they do again night in and night out in this league, it gives me great respect and great appreciation for what they do on a game-to-game basis. Because, look, our game plan was to slow those two guys down. Their game plan was to slow Tristan and KJ down. And if you're successful doing that, then it comes down to the supporting cast that I was talking about earlier, whether it's for UCLA or Colorado. So, yeah, they're good players.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you, guys.